When you use division to control, but you want to control everybody, it leaves you with a little bit of a problem. You make one side happy and anger the other. And that's what's going on. So how do you get full control? You can't bring them into unity because the division that you've created, the identity politics, is how you're controlling both sides. If they come into unity, they might begin to recognize what's going on. So what you do is you take control of each side individually in such a way that it empowers you. This is why Donald Trump was put into office. Why do you think they ran Harris? You think about all the people that they had available in the Democratic Party, which means half the nation, right? 380-ish million people. They had close to 200 million people to choose from to run as a Democratic candidate. Yet they arbitrarily chose some psychotic, cackling alcoholic who can't put two words together. Didn't that surprise you? Of all the people available, that's who they picked. Why did they pick her? To ensure that Donald Trump would get elected. It's a uniparty system. Make no mistake. Don't think it's two parties. Donald Trump was a registered Democrat his entire life, contributing to every Clinton campaign. And lo and behold, suddenly he's running against her. And he's talking about arresting her, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as he's in office, he's praising her from the pulpits. That didn't get your attention the first time around? Huh? Him and Obama laughing and joking together? That stuff doesn't get your attention? You don't pay attention to what's going on? No, you don't. And that's the problem. So they install Donald Trump. Why would you install Donald Trump? To bring in all the two-way people on side. You get somebody now that Trump and all the Republicans are in office. They're MAGA-ing like crazy. So you pick all the people that they hate and you turn them into villains. Maduro, suddenly he's a villain. Yeah, well, he was elected, and do you know who oversaw that election? Yeah, United States government. So he was an elected official, like him or hate him, the people elected him, and then Trump bribes their government and goes in and steals and kidnaps an elected official and his family from a sovereign nation, and then steals hundreds of billions of dollars worth of their natural resources to prop up the dying dollar because the debt to GDP ratio is insane, so you throw in a few $100 billion worth of stolen assets to prop up the GDP to an artificial number. It suddenly doesn't look so bad, which allows them to melt up the market. That's a whole different story, but that's part of it. So now anti-immigrants. Well, who brought in the immigrants? The Democrats, right? And then now Trump's got this army of mercenaries called ICE, who now have absolute immunity, quote unquote, to do anything they want. But you think they're only going after the bad people, which is basically everybody who doesn't agree with you. So now all the 2A people are becoming like registered brown shirts. Oh, we support ICE no matter what. Yes, they're taking innocent unarmed citizens and they're shooting them in the face for no reason, totally arbitrarily, and no one's getting charged. But who cares? She didn't vote Republican. Let her die. That's the attitude. The attitude that the left showed dancing and celebrating when Charlie Kirk was killed. If he's actually dead, we don't know. His wife was CIA. We know that. Yeah. And we know that they needed a martyr and a little casus belli to get things happening in a bad way to make it look like it was a good way with this big religious push that they have, and that worked. Is he dead? Maybe, maybe not. They don't care. They're psychopaths. They'd happily sacrifice one of their own. But as the left was celebrating his death, notice now that the Gestapo, after shooting that woman, how the right wing, are supposed to be all Constitution, Republic, are celebrating her death. The government gunned her down in cold blood, and you're dancing and celebrating and insulting her. Yep, Trump was put in to reel you people in, to turn ICE into a Gestapo unit. What do you think is going to happen with all those heavily armed mercenaries when the immigration problem has been solved? What do you think they're going to do? You're just going to quit, be fired? No, they're going to do their real job. which is putting the boots down to enforce a totalitarian martial law when your economy completely collapses, because it is. Right? Petrodollar's gone. Saudi's trading in yuan. Every nation on earth is like getting rid of all their American securities. Your dollar is crap, in total free fall. Gold just surpassed $4,600 an ounce. Silver is pushing towards 100, and there's no sign that it's going to stop before it hits what, 40,000. Your dollar is going to completely collapse. It's lost all its hegemony, and you're going to be bought out with a gold-backed digital stablecoin, and you're all going to welcome it, and you're not going to escape. You're going to be bought into slavery, bought and sold, and you don't even realize it. Because the guy who owns the gold that's going to back that stablecoin, he's going to control who buys and who sells. Sound familiar? It should. We've been warning of this for 2,000 years. It's coming. That's why Trump was in. So once you 2A people are all reeled in, and the government's been given power by your hand that cannot be taken back, they're going to have to reel in the left. So who's that going to be? An AOC? They install who they want. All they have to do is prop her up and run some idiot on the other side. Look how they got Obama. Look who they ran against Obama. You think that was an accident? They wanted him in. They needed him in. He had to do a bunch of stuff. Always look at that. Who are they running? And why is it always someone who looks decent on paper and someone who is a complete buffoon? And they will pick somebody, maybe J.D. Vance or somebody, and make him look like a buffoon so you won't vote for him. The only people who are trying to fool here are the swing voters. The left will vote left, the right will vote left, right. But there's that group of swing voters. They decide who the president is, so they're the ones who are being manipulated. Sorry to say, guys, you're swing voting and you're not realizing the left wing and the right wing are on the same bird, and that bird's a vulture. So that's what's happening. And it's going to get a lot worse. A lot worse.